So I am not even going to channel before we get started. I did clear the space and I am already picking up on energy. So I feel like the 90s may be significant to you. Maybe you were born then, or you were especially happy then, or maybe the aesthetic of the time you appreciate. Also the 70s, same thing. So maybe you were born then, or extra happy then, or you feel especially called to the aesthetics of the time. And I also heard the word head shop. So let me show you your crystals before we get started. And I'll look up what these are and put the name of them in the description. So I know this one piece is like a little amethyst piece, but I'm unfamiliar with the little star crystal, so I'll look that up for you guys. But I just wanted to go ahead and pull cards and just see what message comes out for you guys today, what message needs to get to you. My stomach feels like I'm like riding up on a roller coaster. Spirit, what message is imperative to come through for those who are watching this video today? What message do they need to know? I just heard Amazon and Black Madonna, cave, crystal cave. That's really strange. I feel like someone is stalking outside my window. It kind of stopped after I said that. 4013 may be important to you, and 6 is an angel number that's coming through as well. So we have the Ten of Swords and the Four of Wands. The Ten of Swords is one of the deck's most striking and ominous cards. 10 long swords can be seen behind the poor raccoon, indicating the fear and negativity associated with death. All is still, adding to the card's eerie stillness and finality. This card represents a major disaster of some kind. It indicates that a powerful force has come to strike you in your life, one that you may have not anticipated. Because the character is stabbed in the back, there is a sense of betrayal here. This appears to be a reminder that no matter how hard we try, we cannot control everything. There are still some things we cannot change. In love, this card can indicate the end of a relationship or a period of suffering, bitterness, grief, and pain. The relationship was almost certainly doomed to fail, and you may have predicted it. This card can also indicate betrayal, indicating infidelity. While this period of time may be extremely difficult, you must accept it and accept the inevitable end. Singles may be dealing with lingering feelings from a previous relationship. In career, this may mean you're nearing the end of your current job, maybe ending and cutting one's connections and networks off. It can indicate that you're dealing with office politics that have left you feeling defeated, maybe coworkers that have spread gossip. Alternatively, you could have been working extremely hard and pushing yourself to the point of collapse. But we end here on the Four of Wands. So here we have 2 raccoons smiling under a banner with blooming roses on it. And this is a time that's tinged with feelings of fulfillment and satisfaction. And it's brought about by the actual achievement of a goal or the joy of a relationship. So in general, this card suggests that now's an excellent time to get together with your close friends and family. And this can be, it doesn't have to be a special occasion to do so. This time, though, often reflects a period of holidays, though, when you're able to spend an extended period of time with your friends and family. And it may also suggest that you invite your closest friends, to an intimate get-together. In love, this card can bring about engagements, marriages, or other celebrative gatherings for you and your partner. If you're in a stable relationship built on a solid foundation of trust, support, and understanding, the support of your family and friends may strengthen your union even more. This type of love isn't just love between 2 people, but love that is supported by a larger community. In your career, this can mean stability in supportive relationships, when you're in this position, you'll feel a sense of community in your work environment. Perhaps you've made new friends at work. There may also be work gatherings, like office parties in the near future, that bring you closer to people that you work with. If there are, these events are likely to strengthen your bonds with your colleagues. And if you hear some crunching, that's actually my kitten that I just adopted. She's eating kibble right now, but she's like eating it laying down. Totally luxuriating. But let's get some more clarification on these cards, because I was actually wondering, I was giving the readings for just general and love and career, depending on what your situation is. But let's get some more cards to clarify this situation. Is there anything else you need to know about this change you're going through? Because obviously there's a change from Ten of Swords to Four of Wands. I really feel like this has to do with your work. I feel like it has to do with your career. It may deal with love. Some of you might be here and getting messages for a love situation. But I do feel most of you are here for a work situation, like where work felt like it was just the environment was against you. But it looks like you're moving into a time where you're going to have community. You've definitely been on a journey of some kind. I feel like you kind of went on like a dark night of the soul journey. And you retrieved access to higher knowledge. And I feel like this dark night of the soul kind of brought you closer to the light within yourself. You feel like within yourself now you are celebrating your internal world. But I think it's time for you to bring your internal world to the external world. And you may have had a lot of things like in the past that were like keeping you bound up. But these things that were like maybe making you feel trapped before, you're like wielding as if they're tools now. In this card, in Eight of Swords, they're like surrounded by all the swords, but in Ace of Swords, the sword is like, it's victorious. And you may have people like coming to help you claim. I just had in my mind's eye like the vision of someone, what's that one sword that's like stuck in the rock and like no one can get the sword out? It's like a special sword. Like you pulling that sword out. I need to look up what this is called. Ooh. So the sword itself is called Excalibur, but it's from Arthurian legend, and I was actually hearing that a second ago. It was Arthur, but I wasn't. Is it like King Arthur? Was there a King Arthur? I don't know. But in this legend, though, whoever can, pull this sword, pull Excalibur from the rock, because the sword can't be pulled from the rock. So whoever can pull it from the rock, that's who is the legitimate heir to the throne, the rightful king. So I feel like there may be, two people perhaps, or just some friends that are maybe helping you claim your rightful legitimacy to some throne. That is so awesome. And right as I say that, actually, I get Three of Cups. And again, the symbol of three, you and two other people. And I'm getting the image of a triangle too. And and there's a triangle on this card, but just the triangle of three happening. I think this is something that you've been working really hard for, and something that you're going to be really happy pays off. And we have the Ten of Coins, and on this card, in this deck, there's again three. And I think this is almost like, I'm getting the vibe of like when you take, these people have like had your back, I feel like, in the past, and have seen sort of you lack recognition, and then it's like, oh my gosh, my jaw is kind of like sore honestly right now. Like maybe you feel like you've been like tirelessly defending your position in some way, and but my throat's not sore, so it's like you're not, this has been a really long process. Like it's been you've been for a really long time defending yourself, but maybe at this point you've sort of taken a step back from that. And you're still due, you're not due any less recognition because you've stepped away from it. It's just you don't see chance for recognition at this time. It's been denied for you for so long, so maybe you just sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you don't expect it almost now at this point, even though you're due it in the circumstance. And I almost feel like you're waiting to change the circumstance. You're like exploring. It feels like I just heard dark tunnels. I don't know why I heard that. This is something that you're going to receive justice on. You're due justice on something. You taking your spot as this rightful heir, I think, is the justice. And I think you've willingly put blinders on, is what I'm hearing. That's what I was looking for earlier when I was like trying to think of the right words for sort of your inactivity now on making your claim and getting recognition, or trying to get recognition and putting your ideas out there in a way that they still belong to you. In all of this, though, you've developed like an incredible amount of emotional intelligence, and you know how to navigate things. Like you are threading hairs through needle eyes, okay? Like that's how cleanly you're navigating some circumstance here in the workplace. And I mean, you don't just wait for things to come to you too. You also very intelligently and selectively choose battles as well. Like you well, I don't know if it's like so opportunistic, but like when you see openings for growth, you take them, and you may even make them. I don't think that's at the expense of others. And a judgment call needs to be made. I think you made a judgment call on the situation a little while ago, and that's why you've been able to absorb the that's why you're going through this challenge as if it's an opportunity for lesson and growth, and you're absorbing emotional intelligence and you're absorbing intellectual intelligence, is because you made a judgment a long time ago and you went into an introspective space. When you went there, you maybe have went there because you felt like you had issue. We get the 5 of Cups here. The image on the card depicts a raccoon who appears to be in despair as she hides her face. There are 3 cups on the ground with red liquid having been spilled. The person, however, does not appear to notice that there are 2 standing cups because they are too preoccupied with mourning. I almost feel like your judgment for a long time was clouded by ego. Like, you could only pay attention or focus on maybe, I think, the loss of recognition, because there feels like a loss of something here, but maybe it was feeling like there was a loss of recognition. You felt like you had been through so many like mountains and across and through so many hurdles, and you should be standing on greener grass, but you're looking at these like situations of lack and you're like, what is this? But you took the time to be introspective, and I think that time pulled you back to your cups that are still full. And I think this job, it brings you luck in some ways. And even if it may not be arbitrary recognition, you may be getting recognition in non-traditional ways. Like maybe if it's like maybe your boss is denying you recognition, maybe everybody else in the organization though is telling you how awesome you're doing. And this job may be supporting your health, and it may be allowing you to heal your heart in some way, and it may be allowing you to claim victory in some way. And I think certainly this job brings you a level of financial satisfaction and community. And I think this career, and as I say this, I see 1 1 2 3 11:23 on my timer, and it's actually 9:36 a.m. for me. So this job, and again, I just noticed that. So I pulled out, when I was talking about what this job's going to bring for you, or what this career space is going to bring for you, I landed on the Empress. I wanted to look up for this guidebook, the notes for this card. But we have 3. We have 3 again. And there's some element of 3, and I think 3 just as a symbol, maybe 369. And I know there's like a 369 manifestation method. So I was being reminded of Nikola Tesla and his theory on the numbers 369, them being the keys to unlocking the secrets to the universe, supposedly. He called them divine numbers, and apparently he incorporated these numbers into his daily life. I'm not really sure how he did that. I don't need to look into that, but maybe it's something you need to look into. And the 369 manifestation method, 3 is our connection to the divine, creativity, self-expression. 6 is inner strength, harmony, and balance, and 9 is inner rebirth, transformation, and release in the past. So I can kind of see like how there's a cycle there, like recognizing the divinity in ourselves and self-expression, having strength, and then releasing the past, like having strength to release the past. Some of Tesla's theories about the number 369 though are all numbers. So it's like he talked about it in terms of digital root numbers. So he believed that all numbers were combinations of 1 to 9, which I mean is true. And 369 form the letter Om, like Om. And this is said to represent something called Sagan Brahm. Let me look what this is. I don't know if I just said that right, but so I don't know why that was spelling it differently. So that was referencing something called Saguna Brahman. I'm not sure if that's pronounced correctly on my end, but so it's the ultimate reality that describes Brahman as having a form, identity, and purpose. It's similar to the idea of immanence or manifested divine presence. It also has to deal with a black hole for Tesla, with the numbers 369 forming an equilateral triangle which represents the black hole. He also discovered that no matter how many times you divide 1, the outcome would always be a 3, 6, or 9. He also believed that frequencies introduced into the brain cause brain waves to resonate. Only resonating waves are strong enough to produce action or thought. So essentially 369 and the frequency they produce in the environment have the strength to produce action or thought, perhaps. I'll need to look into this more, but I'm sure there's a relevant message to that information for you. But getting back to the Empress card, so this recognition, this workplace for you, recognition in this workplace, the keywords to this Empress card are feminine power, abundance, fertility, pregnancy, marriage, creativity, receptivity, pleasure, mothering, nurturing, giving birth, literally or figuratively. So let's come into a space of metaphor here. I think this is a place that's like fertile with opportunity for creation. You have a lot of space here, or could have a lot of space here to create, and the attributes to this card are Venus. Okay, and just to drive this point home, this is one of the strongest pregnancy cards in the tarot deck. Okay, and we are still in space of metaphor here as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can still be here for other messages if they apply to you. If they resonate, of course they're for you, but I've been most strongly picking up on a message of career. So this is obviously a very strong confirmation though of what can come of this environment is the support of major projects for you, major endeavors. You'll really come into your own and find fulfillment. If you're a mother, if you're a father in this scenario, encourages you to build on your communication with your children and show them your nurturing side. So again, in the workspace, this would mean if you have a team, building communication with your team and nurturing your team. Embrace your softer side no matter where you're coming at from in the message. So if you're a mother or a father here, metaphorically, embrace your softer side, allow yourself to explore the emotions you're feeling, and listen to your intuition. People will be drawn to you, especially those in need of the empathy, compassion, and nurturing you're able to provide. This is a very positive card. If you're single, get ready to mingle. Okay, and again, in this reading, I'm looking at that as your position. After you are rightfully recognized, you're going to be like networking like crazy, like a bee, buzzing like a bee. It's an indicator of a committed relationship becoming deeper and more loving and affectionate. I think this job place that has been denying you recognition for so long, unfortunately, they were late to the party of you. And, you know, now you are getting recognition here, and finally, I feel that your commitment to your career will be allowed to become deeper, because for a while you had to protect yourself. You know, you realized, well, I can just keep giving myself away and away and away and never get anything in return. This place can be a black hole. I think you set boundaries though, and you learned a lot of skills in that space, and all of this is coming together in a period of reward. You'll be feeling very creative, and you'll even inspire the people around you with your passion. You'll be full of new ideas. If you're trying to decide on a career or thinking of changing careers, this is a good indicator that you would do well in a creative field such as the arts. Financially speaking, this is a good time for cash flow. It's also a good time to follow your intuition in terms of investments. As you reap the benefits, remember to share your abundant wealth with those in need. That was a message that was coming through earlier as well. If I didn't say that, I definitely need to. So it's like these friends that have watched you sort of be denied your recognition, they fight for you 99.9% they fight for you 100% just because they know you need the recognition. But they know in doing this that the reason I'm getting the reason. Oh, I love moments when I just feel like, oh, everything happens for a reason. But I really do though. I really do. This is one of those moments. But the reason that, I don't want to say the reason you weren't getting recognition, but something was supposed to trigger you to go into the hermit mode so that you gathered the emotional and intellectual skills that you did during that time. So something was bound to trigger that. I will say that. You know, I won't say you were meant to not get recognition because that, no. That's what we're trying to get. But what I will say is you were meant to acquire those tools somehow. And the reason is you're going to take those into your Empress era. Okay, so after you get recognized, you're going to take those tools into your Empress era. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting excited. Okay, but you're going to be needing. Okay, and literally earlier, what was that earlier? It was Queen of Cups. I don't have it out here, but it was Queen of Cups and Ace of Swords. Like, are you kidding me? You're gonna need to use your intuition, and you're gonna have to be able to cut through illusion, deception, darkness, reflection, fear, subconscious, dreams, difficulty, fear. The attributes to this card, okay, the moon card, is Pisces. Okay, we're dealing with, like, the subconscious, the psyche, okay? This is actually crazy, though. Like, the tools that you acquired are going to be the exact tools. The tools that you acquired while you were being denied recognition are the exact tools you will need to not just handle your recognition, I mean handle it so good. Okay, like people are gonna be like, dang, I want to do it like them. And as I say that, okay, King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I'll read the message for that and then we'll close out this reading here because I feel like that's all we need to know right now. So we have the King of Cups. It represents generosity, control, emotional balance. The image on the card depicts a raccoon sitting regally. On his throne, he holds a goblet in one hand, perhaps signifying his generosity of spirit. He gazes unwaveringly into the distance. So in general, this is one of the most powerful cards in the cup suit. He is the embodiment of creativity, emotion, and the unconscious. The card represents the ability to control one's emotions and be fully in control of one's feelings and impulses. Like, what did we just talk about? Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords. You represent a healthy balance of intellect and emotions. And this card implies that there is a strong connection between understanding and feeling. In some cases, this card can represent an older male in your life. This is a mature man who accepts responsibility for his actions and has mastered his own self-awareness. This card can represent a more experienced, caring, compassionate advisor or mentor who can assist you in developing an emotionally fulfilling career. This card is also about balancing one's emotional and practical, logical needs. Your wisdom and ability to balance your head and your heart can earn you the respect and admiration of those around you, and can make you especially valuable when it comes to resolving conflicts between various parties in the office. Alright, we will leave your reading off there. I feel like that's a good spot to leave it off on. And right below that, like, are you kidding me? Like, your reading is crazy. You are a super successful person. It's like kind of, I mean, I just feel like you're just like, I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than just like literally a walking ball of success. Like, so underneath the King of Cups, we had the Ace of Wands. So it's like, you can make anything happen. And that's how people think of you. They're like, you're like, people think you're a magician. People might have actually thought you do magic, like real life magic. And this is going to be you basking in your, this is your heyday. This is your heyday. And it's going to be fun. And you deserve it. So this is the end of your reading for today, or for now at least, and I hope that was really helpful and super meaningful, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!